Good evening, everybody. My name is Shannon Bailey, and I'm the Chief Curator here at the World Chess Hall of Fame. I'm so happy to welcome you all to our exhibition opening tonight, Tom Hackney, Corresponding Squares, Painting the Games of Marcel Duchamp. And we're so fortunate to have Tom here, and we've been spending a few days with him, and he's just lovely, so I know that you'll enjoy hearing him speak for a few minutes about his artwork. And then he'll be here for you guys to talk to for the rest of the opening. This show is actually the second part of a show that started with the Francis Naumann Gallery in New York. It ended up a couple of weeks ago. And so I'd like to give a special thank you to Francis, who wasn't able to come tonight. I've actually been interested in Tom's work for years and have been trying to figure out a way to bring him here or do a show or fit him in with a group show. And when Francis, who's a dear friend, said, I found this artist and he's amazing and I want to do a show and you should bring it to the Hall of Fame, it was, an easy decision. We have these wonderful programs here because of the generosity of Dr. Jeannie and Rex Singfield, so thank you for your support. And I'd also like to thank my great staff, especially our General Manager, Joy Bray. So without further ado, here is Tom Hackney.
Thanks, Shannon. Well, I'm going to follow those thanks with a few more thanks because it's really warranted. I've never really worked with a team as big and as committed as this before, so it's been a real privilege and a real honour. And a thrill to have this work here in St. Louis, and particularly here in this context where I feel that everything that's in the work is kind of available and it can be accessed here, and you can't want for more than that really as an artist. So I'm going to thank some people now, and so this may take a while because they all deserve it. So as Shannon said, Francis Naumann originally hosted the first part of this show in New York, and he's sadly not able to be with us today, but I think he'd like the show, and I hope he gets a chance to see it. And it's been great working with Shannon and Bradley, who provided a couple of great texts for the show, and all of the wonderful staff at the World Chess Hall of Fame, who, it's as I say, it's a great team. There's a real collective spirit, and we did a walkthrough of the show yesterday, and it's so lovely how everybody's closely involved and is part of such a close team, and I think that really bears out in the shows, because I mean without that it just wouldn't come together. So I'd like to make a special mention to Paige, to Kabane, to Maggie, to Brian, to Nick, to Catherine and Nicole, who I've worked with very closely over the past few weeks and months. Working on St. Louis time in London is a bit of a shock to the system, but I'm kind of on St. Louis time now, so I guess you guys won. But it was also great to work with Ben Feingold from across the road, a wonderful grandmaster and bon vivant. So a little about this work. I started making these paintings about 2008, 2009, and I just finished a master's degree back in London, and my background was as a painter, and I was kind of stumped and trying to find a way back into painting. And one of the big obstacles in doing that was Marcel Duchamp, because I'm quite interested in art theory and quite kind of guided by it, particularly at that time. And Duchamp's work puts a kind of historical pressure on painting with his discovery of, or his coining of the ready-made and such things. So he also famously abandoned art for chess in 1923, where he'd made his kind of grand works and decided, right, that's me done. I'm going to be a professional chess player, and with the aim of being the French champion, which he almost achieved. And he was a very, very good player, but perhaps a better artist. So that was kind of the genesis for these paintings, was seeing Duchamp's abandonment of art for chess as a kind of challenge to painting. So I started to use his games, the data from his games, to create these paintings, which are painted in layers according to the moves of each particular game. And as I've produced more and more of these, it leads me to fantastic places such as here, to meet people who bring new ideas and new sources and new information. So it's kind of a growing body of work, and here's the first time here and New York were the first time I've ever shown a large collection of them together, because I've usually shown the one or two amongst other things that I make. So it's a great opportunity to show them together here, and along with the Duchamp artifacts, which you'll see interspersed with the work, which really help to kind of anchor things historically for me. Anyway, so I won't over-explain anything. Do come and say hello, and I'll be happy to talk about anything related to the work. So thanks all for coming down, and a special thanks to Rex and Dr. Jeannie for their support. Wouldn't happen without them. So thank you all.
Thanks, Tom. I did want to point out that this show has a catalog that's for sale in Q Boutique, and if you don't know our wonderful store manager, Brian Flowers, who's right here, and it's his birthday, so happy birthday, Brian. And we also designed a lot of brand new merchandise for the show, original merchandise that was designed in-house by Paige Pedersen and her team, including Aiden Douglas and Brian Flowers. And we've got totes and magnets and lapel pins and t-shirts. It's just all kinds of great merchandise. We've got these great iPads that you can play through the games that Duchamp played, and a special thanks, as Tom mentioned, we did work with Bradley Bailey, who's a Duchamp and chess and art scholar, and Jennifer Shahadi, who helped with some of our game analysis. They're all going to be coming back this summer to do more programming. We're bringing Tom back, Francis will be here, Jen, Bradley, so keep an eye on our calendar for all of our great programming that is related to the exhibitions. And we also have great music series, so if you don't know about those, check those out too. And finally, if this is your first time here, this isn't our only gallery. You can head upstairs and check out our collaboration with the Magic House, Kings, Queens, and Castles, and we've got Her Turn, Revolutionary Women of Chess on floor 3. So enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for coming. Beautiful. Excellent.